They had a presentation. I want to play on recording. Well, the only reason I do is because I want to build a relationship. I give it to them. I don't have any control over the relationship. I can have other people do other things, but I have an offshore company that does. If I don't want to do the automation or funnels or SEO or digital ads, I have it all offshore, so I don't do it.
Who's going? How you doing? What's your name? Brandon, nice to meet you. That would have been an easier B name, honestly, to have for myself. Yeah, so it's born.
It's prompt marketing content. What's routine?
I've had some calendar for a while. Yeah, this is. I'm used to it. Previously, I was in banking. So I'm like, I can't. It's hard to get rid of that. Yeah. I see this one come up. I should probably use stuff. And you're founder as well? Do you represent yourself? Like, do you have your own firm, or do you work on your own?
Okay. So, voice chat program, LevelUp,
I know a couple of ex-alumni, my prior investment banking went on to work with them. Okay. I'm an investor. I was in investment banking. I did investment banking at venture capital. I was a level venture fund, so that's how I actually kind of got into even knowing StartUps at all. And so I was in banking and venture capital for about 3 years roughly, and then recently left, and now I'm a founder myself, which is like, to let go of stability. It's exciting to let go of the stability. It's a little bit of a, but I'm excited for everything.
They actually have
legal tech. It's not going to be like the same legal tech that everyone else is doing with AI. It is going to be an AI-based platform where it's going to upload cases.
well, so I specialize in
AI will summarize that and send it to the next alternatives.
Well, so it's
there's already companies that do it.
So they have
I know because my co-founder was of one of our competitors. Yeah, and if you go onto the website and listen to Still Reading DME class, it looks so dated. Beyond aesthetics, it's not even. It's just also the functionality, the business model. everything and once you're doing it a lot more better, a lot more frequently. So I'm very close to that. But that's what I'm doing. So, but specifically, how long have you been doing this? So I've been doing not with I've been doing wealth management the entire time.
And I'm assuming that you started with GHL because you want to be an open API and most of that what kind of prices?
During 08, studio. Really? Oh. This is all during the downtown.
I've been in merchant services.
The guy that I work with, so based on the stuff, so he's actually, I was at his house last weekend, and he's going to go to see him. And I'm going to start using it. He was gigantic on that side of his bus.
I really not expected that. I mean, I think like a lot of all the 4 pages of disclosure saying this is not investment advice.
Well, let me give you an example. He just spent a week with at Necker Island. So he's in the coaching business, but he's also in the this is coaching. Your name is? No,
Well, that's short reach of that.
And so there's a studio people that want to do product launches and there's like ships. You can handle that. Things are assuming that call, but in the round.
Oh God, okay. It's such a good family. This is while you're working on?
Just like Lunchburg.
Still happens to with the environment. I know with like with the inception and the emergence of the internet, people got like they just celebrate Thanksgiving as keyboard warriors, and they can only do how they wanted. But that's still happening. So many Actually, it's true.
The biggest part of that is that they have to get that part out. By the way,
Yeah, I was going to say. Yes.
what you just said is an attribute to your real things you have made. So your real
Yes. I'll sign the NDA and send it over.
families, you would have a startup.
It's roadside talk. Is that a
Yeah,
term?
I do. I
Roadside
have one
talk?
of tech part. You want to it was a good time. Meantime, by the way, you'll see my LinkedIn is still my investment banking stuff. We have my LinkedIn if you want to that's easier for you to have to see my contact, so that's cards.
Hey everyone, we're going to get started in a couple minutes, so make sure you grab something to drink or grab your last little bit of food, and then we will get the party started.
The card is, you don't have to kill it. Yeah, it's like, you could if you want. That, it's not really bad. And there's like so many projects. So even if this brand operates doesn't, like, just one person to keep on. Right. That's right. You do link to that signature, yeah. I was born in Iran and came to America when I was about 4 years old. And LA since, and then third grade went to Vegas. First grade was just like the times I was gone from Asia. So 7 times I was gone from Asia, sort of being here for a very long time. I made it. Yeah, practice. Yeah, certainly. That's by the way, sorry, I should have acknowledged you earlier. I apologize. Very rude of me. I apologize. That's good. Yeah. I meant, yes. You gotta get that little trigger warning, right? It helps you. But I think it's not good. Right. There's a small chance. Okay, but in the meantime, mostly here just to learn. I'm enjoying it. So that's just I'm at stay at the StartUp Grind conference in San Francisco. I met her in San Francisco. It was pretty amazing. It's such a small world. It was like, oh, I live in Vegas. Oh, you live in Vegas? Wait, I live in Desert Shores. You live in Desert Shores? Honestly, it's 2 million people, but it feels so. Honestly, sometimes I forget that. It feels like honestly. Yeah, very true, very true. Honestly, it is. Hopefully, the ecosystem is grow more. I know it's since the pandemic didn't really increase. I remember during my time, I read about the capital organizations. It surged. Yeah, it surged a lot more during the pandemic. And since then, I've noticed that the ecosystem of significantly relative, obviously, but still, no, certainly not. But still, it has growth, but I think it's sort of plateaued. We're really remote. We're currently remote. Oh, like living? Desert Shores. Summer. Oh, summer. Yeah. Is that again? That's part of the umbrella. It's so gorgeous. I've always wondered how everything looks like. What is that? Is it like a sound?
Did you hear that?
And a section where did you already think of this?
No. You're simply kind of talking about
I mean,
I see. Like semi-satellite office. Right. Yeah, pretty much. Like fractured. I haven't even really searched that all. It seemed like it was such a fat of Wall Street at one point, but now it's like, yeah. Exactly. Sort of a bubble. Thankfully, it seems like the banks are on a risk hedging system. They've created a lot of their exposure to commercial real estate, mortgage-backed securities or assets tied up in secret homes. But nevertheless, I suspect that once rates start going up, I've always had this thesis. I'm not sure if it's going to be real. Honestly, after it, I'm not even 100% sure. But I suspect that once the rates start getting cut, a lot of the asset users that have hemorrhaging their real estate asset values. Once the interest rates are getting cut, maybe they'll find out it's time to sell. And if enough people find that it's free time to sell, well, then I'll flood the market with too much price. And then it's cash. That's the only situation that I have in terms of liquidity cash flow. But in terms of an asset crisis, significant supply, I'm not sure. That's where I suspect. I'm not, but you may know what that is. It's so long. So what's the percentage of things that have exposed to that? What's the let me write that down. I want to take a look at this. It's going to get very I have. I'm trying not to. Today I was this close to actually shorting CrowdStrike. Yeah. But they did have a patch for it. So they had not said like, oh, we don't have support. Then they would have run them all in, but I was just like. Yeah, it could go up. Yeah. Right. I was thinking about that as well, honestly. Relatively, yeah. Right. It's provided some great returns for me, so I'm very much sure that's it. Is that right? Right. Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being patient. I'm so excited that you guys are here tonight. My name is Jennifer Battle. I'm the community manager for StartUp Vegas, and we're gonna have a good time tonight, right? Yeah. So if you've been to a LevelUp, you know like two things. We love QR codes, and that we want you to be excited and cheer on the founders who are presenting. There'll be a lot of great ways for you to interact, and I'll go through that in a little bit. You'll see some folks taking photos, but this isn't meant to be a good time and a really great time to encourage our founders as we're building up the startup ecosystem in Las Vegas. All right? I need you guys to practice. All right, none of this would be possible without our co-founders, Peter Tomasic, who's also on our panel today, and Heather Brown, who's hiding in the back, but they've got on their snazzy StartUp Vegas business shirts. Come in touch with them and see, again, the QR codes. A couple of announcements, some really great things going on in the community if you're not already aware. Every month there's an AI Builders Happy Hour that happens right here. The next one coming up is Wednesday the 31st. So if you love AI, you're interested, you're a builder, you're involved in AI, make sure you come to that. It's been really great. The other cool thing happening is, StartUp Vegas is on YouTube now. So what you may not know is this event, as well as all of our other events, are live streamed. So if you're somewhere else on a Friday night or at a different event, you can always tune in at StartUp Vegas. So if you guys want to win a prize, that's what we'll do. We'll give you a free t-shirt if we'll pick one of the new followers or subscribers on YouTube for at StartUp Vegas, and we'll pick one of you at random and give you one of the snazzy t-shirts tonight. How's that sound?
Yes.
I know you guys have been begging me for sure. All right. The other thing going on, we have a little perks platform. So many of you and your businesses are using services. We just wanted to let you know that if you go to startup.vegas/perks, you might be able to find some of those services at a discount. And if you like free stuff, discounted stuff, make sure you check that out. Okay, let's get to our program.
Woo!
So audience participation, we have 3 wonderful founders here tonight, and then afterwards, you'll be able to ask them questions, but only through our Slack channel. There's a hashtag live event questions, so when you can go to that QR code if you're not in the Slack community to join. If you have a question for one of the founders, awesome intern James will be moderating that, and we'll be able to ask the question that way. Okay, make sense?
Yes.
All right, we have so many great sponsors which help StartUp Vegas do our work, and so yes, I'm going to read about each one of them because they're sponsors. We need to do that. So we have a brand new sponsor, Tech Edge Developers, and with a deep understanding of market trends, consumer behavior, and emerging technologies, TED crafts product market effective go-to-market strategies and provides valuable guidance empowering startups to beat the odds and thrive on the market. Also, Lucy Hub, we work with to produce our amazing videos. They are an award-winning AI-powered video production platform based here in Las Vegas, and mobile app to help you streamline content creation and turn your ideas into professionally edited videos in hours. So if you actually go to YouTube and look at some of the founder spotlights that are there, they're actually created with Lucy. Project Wilbur, they're a dedicated ally in navigating the intricate landscape of entrepreneurship. And if you were here on Tuesday, they're also the group that delivers ScaleUp. So they've been really helping many of us in the community and the audience learn how to build and scale our businesses. And then Sevens PR is a strategic communications agency powering brand moments, getting stories to stakeholders in the tech-first world. Thanks to our sponsors. Give them a round of applause. So we have a great panel today. Like I said, we've got Peter. I'm gonna let you guys introduce yourselves. So why don't you turn on that mic and pass it on?
Yeah, thank you very much, Jennifer. Peter Tomasic, co-founder of StartUp Vegas and many other companies in Las Vegas. Most recently, TensorWave, which is a pure-play AMD GPU cloud, much like CoreWeave, but using AMD GPUs. I have been in Vegas for 20 years, and like I said, all my companies were born here, basically. And I just crossed over personally, along with my co-founders in all the ventures, raising over 100 million in venture. And yeah, I love doing this and sharing a vision of what I think Vegas can be and should be. Yeah, thanks.
Hi, I'm Rachel Mackey. I am a marketer for primarily VCs and some startups. I've been in Las Vegas for a couple of years now, prior to that, Chicago. But yeah, I'm really excited to be here and to be part of StartUp Vegas and the startup scene here.
Hey y'all, my name is Faye. I am the CEO of Almashon Consulting. We help Series A+ startups scale and improve their operations. I'm also a venture partner for Forum Ventures. We're a B2B SaaS venture fund. We do pre-seed and accelerator investing. So we invest anywhere from $100,000 up to $1 million in B2B SaaS startups.
Hello, I'm Bob Christopher. I'm an entrepreneur and also an investor. I came out of Mitsubishi Chemical, where I was heading up the venture capital side for them. And now I'm building a battery company. Also, I'm the president of Las Vegas Robotics Meetup, which is a meetup we do once a month around robotics. So if you guys ever want to check out what's happening with robots, you should take a look at our event. Thank you.
All right, you guys ready to hear our first founder? We represent a company that will impact cancer screening across the world. That's your cue to clap.
My name is Lally. I'm the CEO and founder of Nestle Biosciences. Imagine a female between the ages of 21 and 65 going in for a routine cancer screening, i.e. also known as PEPS test, and then you get a call that the test did not render a result. And hence you have to come back and retest. Well, no provider wants to make that call, and no patient wants to receive that call. In fact, that actually happens over 700,000 times in the US. It's so-called unsets or unsatisfactory result that essentially requires to retest. 30% of those women actually do not come back, and over 4,000 women die of cervical cancer deaths. 341,000 women die worldwide, 94% in low to middle income countries, where accessibility and affordability is a bigger issue, unsets being a secondary matter. We can address all these issues with a better test, faster test, and an affordable test. In essence, we can take that 700,000 number and essentially reduce it by 80% without the patient being called back for a retest. We can do so at a faster pace, manually, in producing those slides twice as fast as the automations that are prevalent today. Affordability-wise, the two dominant tests in the market are run by machines that run anywhere from $75,000 and up. We require no special equipment, and we produce better results. Sorry, this is. My apologies. Anyhow, this is a real sample of a patient with the dominant brand at the bottom in our test kit, our test on top. At 40x magnification at the bottom right, you will see that the cells appear to be clumped together. But that is the leading brand, and the company behind it was actually had an exit at $6.2 billion, half of which was attributed directly to this particular test. Our test above is what it looks like, and on the right you'll see the graphs where it shows we have a 7.5, by a factor of 7.5 lower unset rates. The market, global market, the TAM is massive, 2.1 billion. The US market is 116 million. The SAM, 1.3 B, of which 38% is actually unserved. In the US, 52 million patients undergo this test. SOM is very conservative, 32 mil for global and 8 mil in the US. Customers, labs, and OBGYNs. Competition, only two, dominated by BD and Hologic. They've been at it for over 25 years. Both require machinery, especially equipment that costs over $75,000. Team, myself at the helm with sales and marketing background. James, our co-founder, with extensive background in compliance, risk, regulatory, NGO relationships, etc. Then our CFO, operations, legal, scientific, and technical. We have high impact growth strategies. Number one, direct sales and marketing to B2B, to labs and OBGYNs. But we want to do something above and beyond that. The direct sales is a function of data. Data is based on clinical data that we wish to produce in a large clinical trial. But we want to do something beyond that. We want to produce a DTC campaign, which has never been done in this space, where we can go and essentially inform the consumers that there is a better test available. However, we want to do a little more than that. Instead of just informing a patient about a test that they ask for, what we want to do is contribute one additional test to a country that needs it most. So we have an impact through NGOs while we're impacting the lives in the high-income countries. We also want to participate with the UN Population Fund, and through leveraging we're a member of the UN. As such, we can access about 190 countries where we wish to leverage and get to the WHO, whose initiatives are to bring cervical cancer death rates from 341,000 to 0. But it all starts with one thing, a screening test, which is where we sit, and there is significant NGO interest. Comparatively, we are priced under $10 just like any other test, but we require no special equipment to run the tests. We also credentialed with a number of government agencies, FEMA, SAM, GSA, etc. But the UN is the one that's most relevant to roll this product out worldwide. Revenue-wise, we forecast profitable venture, running up to 5 years. And our ask is 12 mil, and we are off to the races. With a convertible note, 8% with a 20% discount. We project an exit in year 5, and we believe we can defend a 10x valuation of 1B or more. Competitive exit in this space has been at 6.2B on 10x revenue in 2007. Thank you.
Good presentation, Tom. Thank you. Can you quantify the problem in terms of dollar? What is the? I always look at numbers in terms of a problem set. So, is it can you quantify the problem, or is it more of a percentage? I'm just curious about the how, and also kind of on that note, what I'm kind of getting at is how much of a problem does the market or the doctors know this is? Like, this is a problem like you identified, but does the market know it's a problem, and are they doing anything about it?
Well, it is prevalent in the marketplace because this is what they call liquid-based cytology test. This is supposed to be the greatest and the best test out there. But relatively speaking, there's only 2 companies in the space. So the docs generally do not ask for or look for a better test unless one is presented to the docs. However, the laboratories also push the test that is actually the better test because they internally validate a test, and whichever seems to stand up better, because the reimbursements are all the same, regardless of test you use. If it's liquid-based cytology, they all pay the same amount of money from insurances. So it's essentially a lab that dictates the use of which test they want to deploy or employ. Now in this case, this test can be used as a default only. And the question is, why would you use this as first line? Well, the answer is it's not FDA approved yet. So that they're afraid to push that as the first step to test. Because if the docs get unhappy, because the competitor is going to come to the doc and say, hey, you're using an unapproved test. And it frightens the docs, so docs don't want to do that, and the labs don't want to upset the docs. So once you have an approved product, you can go with full confidence and say, this is a better test. And if a patient is asking for that test, the doctors are compelled to find out. And once you learn, you can't unlearn, because you have to use the better test. Nobody goes and asks for the second best test, certainly.
Hi, Sal.
Hello.
I like the story that you started
Am I
with.
safe?
No, I'm gonna be mean. Okay. I feel like I'm not fully grasping like what the product is. Is it like a software, like AI?
No, it's okay. So this is a PEP test. A PEP test is essentially extraction of cervical cells, put on a slide, and then it's examined in a microscope to determine abnormalities, which will determine whether you will go to the next step up, which is HPV, which is the virus that causes cancer. So this is the first step of screening for cancer. And if it warrants, then you go to HPV. So PEP test, then HPV.
So the product that you're selling is the liquid that
The test itself. So the test contains a reagent. The reagent is the magic sauce that creates an awesome slide that I demonstrated there. That slide creates a single layer, a mono layer, unlike the competitors where you saw it was all clumped up. Now that is a $3.2 billion product. And that's the comparison. So we have no issues. We can sell that product to anybody because there's no way to defend not using that.
So they can use it right now. The only problem
Absolutely.
you're saying is the fear of
Just that we can't make a claim until such time that we complete a large clinical trial with 10,000 patients, which the other guys did too.
Yeah.
Once we have that clinical trial FDA approval, then we can go full steam anywhere.
And so what stage are you in FDA approval right now?
Well, we are looking to take this on, intellectual property, from an existing owners and put in the clinical trial, which wouldn't run too long. It's a fairly short run. 10,000 patients is a lot, but it's not a lot when there's 50 million such tests in the US. So you could run this test and complete it in 1 year. So we think between now, in a year and a half, we can have full FDA approval. But that doesn't stop us from having the labs internally validate the test and deploy it, which they are actually doing right now. It's just that we can't be involved in saying, hey, use this test, this is a better test.
And you said it's short, so how long is the FDA approval, you think?
It's usually 6 months or less, 90 days to 6 months.
6 months for FDA
No,
approval?
no, after submission. The clinical trial.
From today till FDA approval.
Yes,
what is that
for us, yeah. From here to finish line, we're looking at about 1.5 years to 2 years.
Okay.
But we're in the raise phase, of course. Post-raise, then we're looking at about 1.5 years. So we think we could be in a very strong position to exit within 5 years.
Yeah, I think this is great. I think one advice I give you for your deck is just explaining the numbers a little bit more, because it wasn't coming together for me so easily.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know how long the FDA approval was, and I'm not like a health tech investor, so I might totally be wrong here, or health investor at all. And so, like, in my mind, the first thing I was thinking is FDA approval is going to be 5 years, but you're telling me the exit is $1 billion in 5 years, automatically discredits it, right? So if you had something in there that showed a little bit of timeline around processes, I think that would be so helpful.
Okay.
And then the second thing is the TAM slide. You used numbers of tests when I think you should use dollars.
Actually, it's a very good point, and that's a challenge to get numbers from worldwide data as to how much is spent on it.
You know, we like guesstimates.
Yeah, but look, a
Doctors
test
are
is
always
a
so
test.
specific.
Look, there's a 1.2 billion women who need this test. I mean, and do the math. Our test costs $7, and we give away one for free. I mean,
Oh, investors are lazy. They'll look at your deck for 3 seconds. If that number isn't on there, they're not.
yeah, I understand.
Call.
I
That is
appreciate
advice,
it.
but yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's a great job.
we debated with that and said, well, we'll keep the lives. How many lives do we affect?
Do both. Lies
But
and
we're
dollars.
gonna put the dollars there. We'll put the dollars
Trust
there.
me.
Okay.
Trust me.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
I'm interested actually not in the technical, but in the story. Like, why did you decide to go like with founding this company for this particular reason?
We've been looking at the right product that we can put our hands around and take it to the next level and beyond. And we were involved in an earlier product that is still in clinical trial, which was in chronic wound care and so forth. So essentially, we look for something that is really not where it could be and should be. And we looked at it very carefully. Everything around this company, they have lost the steam, the momentum, and all that stuff. And none of them are medical folks. And so we're saying, I think we can do this. But the exciting part is, this can transcend across all countries, across the world, which is very exciting. Because we always talk about the US market. What about the rest of the world? As much as you want the very best for yourself here, so do people elsewhere. And it's very exciting that you can have a product, but the fact that we can give away one, and it wouldn't hurt us a whole lot, is very exciting as well. And I think the NGOs will be incredibly excited to partner with us. And we are bringing on board some incredibly influential and powerful women that will help us get there.
A great presentation.
Thank you.
I think I heard you say very briefly.
They have their own reagents,
Mhm.
and that's what they write on.
But you have the formula in-house.
We will.
You will.
Well, we under contract, so yes.
Okay, perfect. And so to that end, where are you in your journey? You said you're raising some money.
Yes,
but
we're looking to raise 12 mil.
yeah.
That will entail certainly clinical trials, FDA approval, working capital, as well as acquisition of the existing portfolio.
Oh, got it.
And, so it'll take 12.
Is the entity formed?
Yes, the entity is formed. It's a Delaware corporation. And we're looking to do this raise, and that will take us post FDA, and then we'll probably do another round at that point. That's 3 years down the line.
3 years down the line.
Yeah, and that could be commercial financing, because we know we'll get large orders. And there's another product off of this that I didn't mention. We don't talk about it.
Sure.
That's just a bonus.
Yeah. So the funds will take you 3 years down the line.
Yes, absolutely.
You've thought through the use of funds, obviously.
I'm sorry.
The use of proceeds, use of the raise.
Yes.
And it'll last you 3 years?
Yes.
Do you have any general overview of how you're going to break that down?
Yes, if I can go back there. The from the 12, 7.5 goes back to there we go. 7.5 goes to recapitalize, take over the existing portfolio. 2 million for clinical trial and FDA approval, and there is a component of AI and automation, and that is very important because we haven't forgotten that. We will bring that on, which is basically automating the slides and uploading and in the cloud so that it can be looked at anywhere on the planet. Then there's the second piece where the interpretation of the slide could be done by AI, and the pathologist would simply look over and endorse or challenge it or what have you. So that piece, we are very aware the platforms already exist. We just have to tap into that. And then the rest, of course, working capital.
Great, we have some questions from our Slack community. I'm gonna hand this over to James, the intern, and he's gonna ask a question.
We have plenty of questions in the Slack channel, so the first one I would ask you is, have you approached any other regulatory entities for approval?
FDA would be the one here, but other than that, I'm not sure what that means.
I'll tell you what it means since someone asked the question.
Oh, yes.
So, the regulatory process outside of the US is quite easier and far less expensive. You type on money
That is a good point. However, it doesn't stop us from actually marketing this out overseas.
I understand that, but it's just part of the
Yeah,
process.
the CE markings for European market and elsewhere, certainly we're aware of that. Actually, it's got CE marks. But we want the clinical trials because that data will support promotion and marketing in the US. We don't want a data that shows equivalency. We want a data that is superior to the existing test. We do,
Outside of the US.
sure, but FDA it's the granddaddy of all. I mean, we really want that data to drive
I
it.
think you're a little optimistic in your approval process with the FDA.
On the contrary, we have consulted with the people who do this well. And we know the clinical trials are only going to take about 12 months, but the FDA submission approval is 6 months is a reasonable time.
Okay, you guys can, I think this is a great conversation and we can continue that later. And then here's James with another set of questions.
All right, another question asked is, what are the headwinds or tailwinds for ClearOne with current U.S. healthcare laws?
Well, what do we see? Challenges? I can't think of anything direct other than our competitors would be affected. Certainly. I mean, if you have a better test, would you use the other guys? And the other guys have put a lot of money into their product line. So, talking to an investor yesterday, his first response was, you guys are going to get bought out sooner than you think because the other guys don't want you out in the market. And it has happened with a company that had a similar product out of Chicago, and the company, whatever happened, they didn't make it. So we believe that we're going to take away lunch from somebody else and they're not going to like it.
That's all we have from the audience for now. So let's give Tall a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, as you can see, once again, we've got the audience participation piece up there. And we're getting set up for our next person. Everyone has a little bit different presentation. This one is web-based. So we have the next presenter. It's one place for all your business clients and awesome things to create with AI.
All right. Oh, you guys are too nice. All right, hopefully you guys are as nervous as I am. All right. All right, so my name is Jeff Caldwell. I have created a software. I've actually been working on this for the last 3 years. I have been an entrepreneur for about 8 years with my wife. We help nurses and doctors take their knowledge and put it into a course format. We usually sell that with a webinar. There's a lot of writing the words on the page, writing the content, writing the emails, writing all of that stuff. So I like to do things fast because I like to hang out with my family, my kids, do whatever thing besides working stuff. So I created a software about 3 years ago to help me with that. One of the latest updates, mainly because the advancement in AI and the technologies and AI actually getting smarter, has been something where it's called text to code. Okay, so some of you guys have seen, has anyone seen where you could text to image and then you could have a really cool image, right? Most of you guys, right? That's a cool little like circus trick, right? Well, this is the next advancement, right? We have text to image, text to text, and now we have text to code, right? So we actually could build websites, build entire software just by saying, I want a website, and then it will build it. All right, so here we go to get started. All right, the problem, coding is time consuming. It requires extensive knowledge, complex learning, and prone to errors, right? Humans make errors. Most of the AI is trained on human code. However, it's getting better. Right now, my AI team, which is the software that we are talking about, is completely 100% active, right? I've been using this. We have customers. This isn't a pre-product idea. This is I've been hustling, trying to make this software product market fit the last 3 years. All right, so you will see some testimonies. These are the ones that my Facebook audience, they are who I try out all my products on. They basically give me feedback. So this is somebody that is one of our very first buyers. In the first 30 days, we had our first customer, and basically I was giving some good discounts. And this was a guy that bought it one of the very first days, and he still is a user 3.5 years later. So, next slide. All right, so there's even a bigger problem, right? The average cost of a software developer is extremely expensive. You guys might see some people that are raising funds. Most of the time they raise funds for website development, marketing, and software development, right? So I believe software development is something that people raise money for. It's extremely high ticket, and most of the time it's not accessible for the average person, right? Anybody that could make an image or text to code, you might not have the artist skills to make those images, right? Well, this is gonna be the same thing with a website, all right? So here's the solution. All right, so we have AI-powered text to conversion, right? So instant code language or generation from natural language. And what does that mean? Okay, so basically natural language, basically saying, I want a button, and then magically a button comes out, right? So here's an example, all right? So you guys can see right here, it says input. You just say, create me a button that makes confetti, right? And if you click that button, the AI coded this, oh, you go back, click on that button. The AI coded this entire thing, and if you click it, woohoo, confetti. All right, so now here's what's really cool. Not only did the AI code up this button, but if you guys know that this website is called deck.myAIteam.com. The AI actually coded this entire website. All these slides. So what you guys see right here, including this example for us, the AI coded by me asking, hey, I have a deck presentation on Friday for my software. Can you make me slides? And this is what we got. All right, so everything you guys see, including this working website and the little button that says click me, is all AI coded, literally with me not coding a single line of code. All right? Next, all right, so we have faster development. All right, reduces coding by 90%. I would literally say it's over 900%. And here's what I mean, is when you could code, this AI could code 900 lines of code in less than 60 seconds, right? So if you are somebody that could write really fast, I challenge, all right? So here we go, accessibility empowers non-technical team members. What's one of the things I didn't even know that was possible with this is a lot of people want to be software developers, but there's also a market for tiny, tiny tools. Right? A lot of times you are in your day job and you're just like, all right, I have an Excel sheet and I need to split the first name and the last name in this Excel sheet. This is gonna take me hours. How do I do it? Literally in seconds, we have our users that create software that they upload it and it will split the entire thing without them having to know how to do it, just by telling, hey, I have a CSV and this is what I wanna do. And it creates a dashboard and upload everything. All right, increased productivity, literally like, I mean, your team members are gonna be able to code things in seconds and you're gonna be able to use them in your team. All right, we also have additional benefits. The AI has a chat feature into it also, so anytime you can chat with your code, tell me, make some back-end scripts, tell me how to do this, walk me through like I'm a 5-year-old, and it will walk you through knowing what your code says. All right? Next, hidden market opportunity. This is where I was talking about. We have one guy that says, I built a software in 2 hours, tracking employees' work hours, allowing employees to add and save their work notes in the day. It also allows them to add in business expenses and track costs while color coding different types of work and the cost code things, accounting purposes. Also has a login for each employee and New Year's to sign up. I'll be making a bunch of, I'll launching this app soon, right? So this is a user that literally built this, and this guy is a DJ, right? And his day job, he built this so they could actually like track hours, right? And he's not a coder, never was. He built this whole software. Here's a little screenshot of what he did, right? So, all right, competitive advantage. All right, we are lightning fast. We have 900 lines of code in under 60 seconds. We are always up to date. I have a little tiny line of code in my backend that I can switch out to have the latest and greatest AI model. I have no loyalty. Whatever's the best and the best, I follow. Okay? Literally, as another person, every software I've ever had an idea for, I can now make an MVP, a working MVP. And this was one of our doctor clients, and he's now using it for his inside terrible office. So. All right, here is me and my wife. I am the founder, the marketing expert behind this. Believe it or not, I am actually not a developer, right? This entire software was built on no code, right? So that means I use something called Bubble. I'm not a developer coder. This has taught me how to program and now I'm putting it on my own server, learning PHP, like, because I just ask, how do I do this? All right, that is my beautiful wife. She is the one that helps us with the nurses and doctors. We have an agency, basically take on 4 to 5 max clients, charge them on a monthly service. After that, we just sell templates and have a website building platform. All right, found a backstory. We have built over 275 websites for nurses and doctors, still doing the website agency, and now I truly believe we've created something that is bigger than just helping nurses and doctors sell information online. I feel like that's fine and awesome. However, being able to turn every single one of you guys into software developers, that for me is a fun mission. All right, where are we now? All right, so we've been bootstrapped first class 3 years, 70K in the first year of sales. Actually, most of that came in the first like 2 months. And then I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. And then ever since then, a lifestyle business has been established. We have over 2,000 users that have tested this. Some of them have been my good friends and family because I want this to be the greatest product that I can build. Product evolution, we use this in our web development agency, 2.5 years of product market fit, and I still currently do software development for other companies because, I mean, I got the coolest tool in the world. So all right, traction, 2,000 beta users, user feedback. Every day it's kind of cool to see people sending me screenshots. Like, I could code this, I have the ability to. Look at my 7-year-old created, right? And so this is really fantastic what we've built so far. All right, time for a demo. Basically, we're gonna do a demo over on the side later. You guys can check it out after we're all done with the speeches. I'll have my little laptop set over there, and you guys can see, even if you guys have a business idea or anything, you can see instantly how you can create a website in 15 seconds. And then here's what's cool is, you can tell it, make this 10 times cooler, and it literally takes the code and updates the entire code. And so that's kind of how we got this awesome slide deck. All right. All right, so next steps. Right now, seed round. Right now, we pretty much don't necessarily need the funding. It is all self-funded. However, basically some of the other things, I would like to hire another developer that knows how to set up enterprise solutions. We have been having some customers and clients that essentially, they're like, hey, I have 10 people on my team, how do I manage this? And we charge 97 bucks a seat, and so how do we factor in that if they have 10 plus seats? So that's kind of where I'm going next. Also, we want to find a strategic partner, possibly an advisor that can help us take us through the intellectual patent process for this. I believe what we had created, even though it's code and people could just easily duplicate it, how fast I develop and how fast we build is something different. And so having that intellectual property would be really nice. All right, if you want a copy of these slides, you can scan that, and that will be a direct copy to the slides. And then the next one, if anyone is a business owner and anyone does want to use this, the next slide. We have a little coupon. Basically, if you guys want to try on my AI team, you get for 50% off, and then that's the first month, so if you guys want to try it, you can use code StartUpNV. Startup Vegas also works, since that's what it's actually called. So yes, that is our presentation. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Cool, okay, I'm the one with the mic to start. I really liked your presentation, that's cool. And it's cool that you built it with my AI team. So I'm curious, I know you just said it, how much is it per seat?
Yeah. Right now, it's 97 bucks a month per seat, and then we're right now it's credit based, so it's 1,000 credits for 97 bucks. So every time you hit generate, that's 1 credit. So.
Yeah, and then sorry, I had this question in my head and it just slipped away from me. Oh yeah, can you talk about like your competitors a little bit more?
Yeah, so we do have. It's interesting because my AI team could do text, image, tons of other stuff, and that's like. Basically, our competitors are like Jasper, OpenAI themselves, and then some of the AIs directly. So pretty much what I feel like separates us the most lately is this text to code, and actually being able to instantly render the code and having that like dashboard and interface is. So there are some companies that I do see pop up that they have that same ability. However, the ability to iterate on the code directly right in that screen and have that chat kind of is what separates us from the market. And so not only are you able to code up what's on the screen, is you're able to walk yourself through. And so it's kind of like, that's what I found the most is effective, is I don't have to teach my customers how to develop and code, because there's an AI that is even smarter than I am to code everything and walk them through the process.
Very cool.
Amen. Great social proof on all these slides. I love that. I have a couple questions. So, number one, the price that you just listed, is that all you can eat?
For 97 bucks.
Yeah.
97, it's $1,000 credits, so not all you can eat. Basically, the way that I increased it and how I handle the higher people that want to use, because we do have somebody that they press it 10,000 times a month, and so I have to track that. And they have an agency, they have 20 people under their team, and so right now I have it where there's higher plans and they get more credits, so it's just credit based.
Cool, cool. And then when you type in some text for code and it generates the code, is that just like sitting on a web page, you're watching it, you mentioned there's some chat alongside it? Okay.
Yes.
Then how does the end customer, this layman person, actually deploy it somewhere for other people to consume? Do they have to then find some other platform, or are they able to deploy their code using my AI team?
Yeah, 100%. Right when you type in and you say create me a website, I automatically create you your own dedicated page. And so literally you could share that URL instantly with somebody. I also give you the ability to view the code and edit the code, kind of like an code editor. And then you can also click download file, and then you 100% own that code, 100%.
Right, and then what happens when you want to take a next step and maybe create a database, store the data, a little bit more advanced tasks?
Yeah, that's my favorite. So literally you're able to, because the AI has your code right there, you're able to ask the chat, how do I create a database? How do I set this up? And write me a code to connect to the database. And you just copy so like if you wanted to connect to your database, you copy your database files and like the instructions on how to connect, and you paste it into the AI, and the AI instantly connects to your database that way.
Right, so where does the database get housed?
So
after that,
yes.
For a layman user, how would I do it?
Yeah. Whenever you purchase your domain, you could choose to purchase that domain and connect it to an external website. Or if you buy a server, you could install WordPress. Well, that same place that you install a server is where you would install these scripts. And now you could connect to the database on that same server. So for $50 a year, you could have a whole software database website running up.
Okay. And then you mentioned you switch out models on a regular basis. Where do you find these models?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hugging Face?
Yeah. Hugging Face is good. That's for the open source ones. I go for OpenAI and then Anthropic. Those are the two latest. Anthropic just released Sonnet 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably like a 5 times better coder compared to GPT-4.
So, you mentioned you wanted to pursue, protection over this idea of some sort. What would you say is your secret sauce over those models? Are you adding something to the prompts as users type? What?
Oh yeah, exactly. So that's actually where this started. Is I had this crazy idea that I was like, I wonder if I could get it to only output the code, and then if I could get it to only output the code, I could get it to render in a display window. And so that's exactly what it did. And so the prompt behind the scenes is exactly what that is. And so, because when you're going back and forth, sometimes it tries to get lazy, sometimes it doesn't return the full code. So there is a very special prompt that I've created behind the scenes.
Yeah. And obviously, as a project expands and the context required to keep it in memory becomes extremely large, like let's say an actual enterprise product, have you considered how to fit it all into a single prompt?
Yeah, so right now there is the quote-unquote limitations of the output of the AI. Yeah. So basically you can output 900 lines of code. Yeah. Well, the chat gives you the ability to say, how do I update this code without returning the whole thing? So now you can edit the code directly. Now you just copy and paste right into the code, and it walks you through how to do it. So I've worked on code over 1,000 lines of code, just using the chat back and forth. And that is extremely effective. Like, help me update this website, add the CSS, and then it instantly gives you the code. And so, yeah.
Hi, Jeff.
Yes.
Jeff. Is this your first time pitching?
In my life.
Oh my God. Honestly, if you didn't say that you were nervous at the beginning, I would have never guessed. I'd be like, oh, he's done this like his whole life. He's probably a sales guy. No, fantastic job, fantastic job.
Yes.
So cool. Like everything everybody said, like having all the social proofs, having it be built itself. One piece of advice before I forget it, everybody in this room is a potential customer for you, right? That literally happens here, right? And your logo wasn't on any of the slides. Like if you're pitching to an audience, potential audience, I would put it like, I put the QR code on the corner and tell them at the beginning, so as they get interested, they can go and scan. You get like 200 more customers right now.
I will tell the AI to update that.
Yeah, tell you that. I have a more philosophical question for you. Why raise? Why fundraise? Why ask for money? 70K in 2 months, like unheard of.
Yeah, that's a great question. It's interesting. I think I was wanting this as more of an experience. I think that this is.
It's not a fun experience.
Yeah, so I actually, I do eventually want to be where you guys are sitting, right? And so ultimately, what does this site feel like, right?
Oh,
And
you
so,
can do that on your own.
yeah, and so, and so I do want to experience what this feels like, and then also, I know what this software could be, and it's different when I feel like we have a team. It's different when I've been working for 8 years by myself, right? Like I don't go to work, I chill with my family, like it's a lifestyle business. But I mean, like, if you could choose to hang out with awesome people, you know, which one would you choose?
Aww.
You know, and so it is one of those things where if I could build an awesome company that lives longer than me, like this is something I can see people get behind. This, like, working for 3 years trying to find product market fit when there's other AIs that for $20 a month you can have and do everything, you're really in the dirt trying to find what works. And so I found something that works that could literally help everybody in this sense. And so to see 7-year-olds kid code this thing up, well, like, how do I get this in schools? How do I get this in more people's hands? How do I, and to find somebody that's done it before, that'd be phenomenal.
I'm gonna give you unsolicited advice. Or I guess it's solicited since I'm sitting here. I don't think you need to raise. I think there's two types of businesses, and a lot of times people don't recognize the distinction of like a venture-backed startup is like you're committing to a life of like not hanging out with your family for 10 years. Seriously, right? Like VCs are gonna expect a lot of you, and there are very specific milestones that they want you to hit. So they will demand it of you, and they will take ownership of your company. So if you don't want that lifestyle, they will push you out, right? Like that's what happens with a lot of venture capitals and private equity and all of that stuff. And so it's a decision that you have to make for your life, which if you want to, by all means go for it. I think you have what it takes. I think you're very like coachable, you have the right attitude. You have this like, what we call founder magic. Like you're very likable, everybody was nodding the whole time. You can do it, I know that. But it's a decision you have to make. And if you do make that decision, I would say you're a little rough around the edges for VCs, like can't mention lifestyle business. The second you say that word, or I want to hang out with my family, don't say those words. And so, yeah, but other than that, I think it was fantastic, like great job, and I'm like super excited I want to sign up.
Woohoo! Thank you. Jeff, great. I spent a good hour and a half with you, Mothership Coffee, going through what you're doing, so I already know the magic you have here. But, you know, what really is interesting, if you step back from what you're doing, I'm thinking about, you're scratching an itch that I think is going to become much bigger in this industry. That is this application middleware layer on top of AI systems. Like really good scripts. It's not about writing code to extract and make other code do something. It's about writing really good scripts and asking those scripts to do certain things that then enable the AI engine to write the code. And a friend of mine who's not here tonight, he's a big PR guy, and he does a lot of his PR stuff through the AI models. But it's all about prompting. And what he's able to produce, I mean, some of the reports he produces, it's amazing. But I think there's going to be this new industry of people like yourself who are creating superscripts that go, let's say, as medical scripts that go in the medical records better than anybody else can do. You know, legal or whatever, engineering, electrical engineering designs, and scripts that somehow can look up whatever that design is you need to work for their product. But I see that not just in what you're doing, but I think overall it's going to be a bigger industry. So good for you. You're going to lead the way, show people how you can make a lot of money, because you're going to make a lot of money. And I'm proud of you. It's good. Thank you.
We have a lot of audience questions. Well, in the interest of time, we'll go for 2. And at the end of it, remember, Jeff's going to be over there with the demo, and feel free to ask those questions to him directly when he does that demo. So I'm going to hand it over to James for 2 audience questions.
All right, one question we got is, are you training your own LLMs, or are you wrapping / adjusting some things?
100% API call, baby. Yep. So literally, 100%. I am not training my own LLMs. The only thing I've ever trained is images on my face. And that didn't go very well. So pretty much, I connect directly to AI models that are already existing. Right now, OpenAI, Sonic, Claude, those guys are investing billions of dollars, right? They've already done this, raising funds, billions, right? Microsoft has partnered with those guys. So for me, I call an API, it costs me fractions of a penny to connect, and magic, I have an AI software. So no, I am not building my own LLMs, nothing fancy. I'm connecting to an API that probably will take less than 10 minutes for every single person in this room if you were to build a software with this.
All right, another question we got is, why are you integrating with only the best AI and not an AI agent that accesses all LLMs?
Yeah, mainly is because my mom uses this software also, right? And my mom, if I give her too many options, it's not gonna work. And what I mean by that is, a lot of times the business owner already has a lot of confusing things. Well, you just need to make it where there's one button that just hits generate, right? And that's it. And then basically they could go back and forth with that. You give them too many options, I already know that those other ones are not as great because I do massive testing constantly. Right? I'm always testing my prompt and my code to see what produced the best. When I see that the code comes out way better, I immediately switch. And there is a huge difference between GPT-4 and Sonnet 3.5, if you guys haven't noticed. So definitely staying up with the latest and greatest. I have to switch out one line of code to upgrade my whole software. So, yes.
All right, let's give him one more round of applause. We have another presenter.
Good evening, folks. My name is Angelo Binno. I'm a co-founder with my brother of EGO, Elite Gamers Organization, EGO.win. Our product was inspired during the pandemic when various stay-at-home restrictions were put in place. My brother and I wanted to come up with a way for gamers to play and compete. So our platform is a way for amateur gamers to set up tournaments and play against each other various games like League of Legends, Fortnite, Call of Duty, etc. The beauty of our technology is it allows the gamers to play from the convenience of their home, and the administrator of the tournament, the host of the tournament, like if it was myself, can set the rules and say, like, it's $10 to enter. And the beauty of ours is not everyone has to play at the same time because folks' schedules don't always match. So John can play this evening, and Jane can play tomorrow morning after she drops her kids off from school, and Joe can play at 5 p.m. when he gets home from work. I would also like to say that 45% of gamers are women. Our product is completely bootstrapped. My brother and I put our own money in. We're both, when I was a child, I had much better vision and I was able to play games like Sega Genesis and Nintendo. And so we understand gaming. And what we are looking for is not money. We are looking for what they call in the investment world an angel added value. Somebody that could help us with scalability. That has seemed to be our bottleneck issue. Because some of the gaming companies will not raise our API limits as quickly as we need because they're afraid that the server might be stormed or it may be a bot. Also, I will say that we are fully integrated into Discord, and my brother and I are working on this full time. We believe that there's nothing better than boots on the ground. We don't like to just email and send phone calls or whatnot. I've been here for the last 3 months attending events day in and day out, and my brother Andrew also travels approximately 2 to 3 weeks out of the month to meet with the technical team face to face to instruct them on exactly how we want things built on our website. Currently, we have about 13,000 users and are looking to get to infinity plus. So I'm open for questions now.
Great presentation, thank you for that. I'm over to your left-hand side. Sit down. My name is Bob Christopher. So I have friends of mine who come out of the whole gaming industry, out of the Bay Area. I know there's a big culture. One of the guys I know is the gentleman who invented Twitch. You guys know Twitch?
Yes.
So I sat next, he was part of the Y Combinator group. And so yeah, there's things you can do to become quite successful in this business. So I guess my question for you is, how do you best, in your mind, what is the best monetization strategy for this? Is it a subscription? Is it gameplay time? Or is it transactional?
It's mostly subscription and transactional. We'd like to become subscription based and make money off of each tournament, like a percentage off each tournament. And I will say that Twitch as well. I was at SciCon earlier this week, and I met a gentleman from Twitch, and he actually loved the idea, and he connected me to his gaming with somebody on his gaming team. And I'm in the process of trying to connect to him, but you know they're a big company, so it may take them a while to get back to me.
Great, thank you.
Hi, Angelo.
Hi.
Great presentation. I think this is such a good space. Obviously, like huge market, and we know that in Vegas.
Thank you.
I'm not as familiar with the space, so I'd love you to explain a little bit more. I want to know a little bit more about your buyer. Like, are they companies that host tournaments regularly? Are they individuals that are like, oh, I love League of Legends, I want to host a tournament for 50 of my closest friends? Like, who's the buyer, and why would they sign up for this?
It'd be individuals, you know, maybe like a work group or buddies or whatnot that want to play, or you know, there's folks, you know, 30 years ago, children aspired to be NBA, NFL players. They all aspire to be gamers now. So some of these people could make a living off this full time. So it's mostly individuals.
Okay, interesting. Like fantasy football, I guess.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, cool. And how much do they pay?
We're charging $5 a month for a subscription, and we're also going to be charging a percentage for each tournament.
Okay.
And I will say that esports is in its infancy right now, but there are a lot of companies that want to get involved. Companies that you've never even heard of, like electronic companies and whatnot. Here in Vegas, there's an arena called the HyperX Arena. It's in the Luxor. The HyperX Arena has actually got the name HyperX from the folks that provide the games and the mouses, but it's actually owned by a company in China, Allied Esports. So there are companies that want to get involved, and we feel it's the right time to launch this. And like I said, esports is the future, and there's gamers of all ages. It's not just like young children or mid-adults. There's folks my age, and I'm 42, and I have friends that have issues with their wives fighting with them because they're staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning playing games.
I know that struggle.
And gamers like to play from the convenience of their home because they have their own setup, like their own nice comfy chair and their dual monitors and their, and their headsets and their nice joysticks and whatnot. So we feel we've hit the right niche.
Cool. Hi Angelo, I'm Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
So I want to talk a little bit about Discord and the subscription. So when you're talking about the subscription, is it just kind of like one level in Discord that's premium, and will you maybe build more levels, like with more content for subscribers?
You know, my brother would know more of the technical stuff. Yes, I believe that's how it's integrated with Discord. And we're also trying to get a Twitch extension.
Okay, that's cool. I'm not as familiar with this space, but it seems very cool, and I know that Discord is a really great place for marketing and getting people involved.
Thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
we've gotten a lot of our users from Discord, and I will say that we have a lot of users around the world, especially from the Middle East. I do community outreach. My parents were born in Iraq. They're immigrants here, so I speak the language, and I'm able to speak to folks. And because folks in the Middle East and the Middle Eastern countries especially, they're very competitive and they don't like to lose and they only like to win.
Hi, Angelo. It's
Hello.
Peter Tomasic.
Yes.
Hey, thank you so much for your presentation and filling in for your brother, Andrew. This is awesome. Yeah, I think of this as like asynchronous LAN parties, almost. I miss those days. But you have written down here that you've reached 12,000 users.
Yes.
Did all those pay you $5 a month?
Yes. They've started
That is
to pay
awesome.
$5 a month. Yeah.
Wow, let's go.
We would have had more, but there were a couple times where we had to take it down and put it back up because we had some technical bugs. And
Yeah.
I can say a lot of the software has that. I mean, I have an iPhone, and I must get like 10 different updates for iOS's fixing bugs and whatnot. So we don't feel bad about that because we're always learning. And we're here in Vegas learning.
Yeah.
We're attending events and whatnot, and we're honored to be here with you guys as well.
Awesome. And I know you mentioned you wanted a super angel or someone with added value, but how much funding would that super angel need to bring?
Like I said, we're not looking for any funding. So
Yeah.
if an investor said, "Look, I can help take this to Google or a technical company or whatnot for a percentage,"
Yeah.
that would be their investment. So they wouldn't have
so
to.
it's their time and their
Yes.
connections.
Yes.
Okay.
And
That's
we're,
great.
and we're not expecting. My brother and I are not the type of folks that just kick back and let somebody pull the wagon up the hill. Like I said, we're boots on the ground, and we love to work, and we love to network and meet with folks and do everything we can to market our platform.
Yes.
I attend every event here in Vegas, so.
Awesome.
Yes.
Anything else for you?
All right, so we can go over to our Slack questions now. So our first question is, what strategy do you have in growing your user base, and how do people typically find your platform?
Well, people typically find our platform by other gamers just referring each other, whatnot, gamers telling gamers. I guess our best strategy is through Discord right now until we can get our angel investor to assist us in moving our user base, scaling our user base much faster.
Right, and our second question is, what is your current runway?
Can you explain what that means?
Yeah, so what it means is how long will your company last before it runs out of money?
Well, I think we're in this for quite a while because we're spending our own money and we are generating some revenue, and our cost of acquiring a new customer is only about 13 cents. So I think we're very healthy, we're very solid.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. One more round of applause for Angelo.
Good job.
Excellent.
Okay, couple more remarks, and what do you guys think tonight? Round of applause. things. I just want to thank everyone for coming and for being such great participants. So many great questions in the chat. So if you didn't hear your question answered, the founders are going to be here, so make sure you chat with them. And also a reminder, our next Level Up is Friday the 13th. Lucky. Who feels good about that one? Yes. Friday, September 13th. I've already gotten a few emails with people saying, hey, I want to pitch. So if you do want to pitch, you can send pitch decks to me, Jennifer at startup.vegas. Jennifer at startup.vegas. I want to thank our panelists. Great questions tonight. And the audience, you guys have been awesome. And if you missed it, fell asleep, you had a pizza coma, you can go to YouTube at Startup Vegas, and the live stream recording will be available there, as well as other recordings from other programs we've done. So eat some pizza, drink that Coors Light. We're trying to remove that Coors Light. Oh no, I should say that drink and drive to go home, but have a network with some folks, and thank you so much for coming tonight. We'll see you at the next one.
Thank you, Jennifer.